In this video, I'm covering the USS Phelps, a 4.3 US destroyer that was a reward in the World War Mode Attack from the Sea event. The USS Phelps is a Porter-class destroyer. It was laid down in 1934 and served throughout all of World War II. The Phelps was notably present at the Battle of the Coral Sea and the Battle of Midway. The Phelps was decommissioned in 1945 and scrapped in 1947. In War Thunder, the Phelps comes in a late war configuration, having swapped the 8 cannons of the original Porter design for 5 127mm cannons split into 3 turrets. There's a dual cannon turret in the front of the ship, and both a single and dual cannon turret at the back of the ship. These are your standard US 127mm cannons, having a reload of 2.8 seconds and mediocre dispersion. There's a choice of 4 shells: Mark 34 HE, Mark 32 Common, Mark 46 SP Common, and Mark 31 HEVT. The HE shell is the best for most situations due to having the highest raw damage output. The Common and SP Common shells are useful for fighting cruisers or destroyers that have high anti-frag armor, such as the Fletcher. Common has more explosive filler, while SP Common has more penetration, though the differences are relatively minor. The HEVT shells are excellent for fighting off aircraft. I would recommend bringing mostly HE shells, some Common or SP Common for fighting tankier vessels, and some HEVT for fighting off aircraft. Speaking of fighting off aircraft, the Phelps has an excellent array of auxiliary and anti-air weapons. 2 dual cannon 40mm Bofors L60s, a quad 40mm Bofors L60, and 6 20mm Oerlikon cannons. This places it slightly behind the cowl and ahead of the Fletcher in anti-air power. The 40mm Bofors are excellent at taking out planes and can deter most aircraft from attacking due to their sheer volume of fire, and are also able to deal with small boats that get too close. The Bofors gets 3 belts: a universal belt, one with more HE, and one with more AP. I'd take the universal belt, as the 50-50 split of shells is best for engaging all targets. The Oerlikon cannons are okay, though they won't stop a plane on an attack run since they can drop ordnance before being destroyed, so don't rely on them. Last for the Phelps' weapons come secondaries. The Phelps gets 8 Mark 15 torpedoes split into 2 launchers and 6 depth charges. The torpedoes have low range and speed, though they can be worth using in close quarters to confirm kills on enemy destroyers. The depth charges aren't useful on ships of this size, as usual. In survivability, the Phelps is quite good. Despite the low crew of 194, it's very resistant to taking damage due to the high anti-frag armor. It isn't on the same level as the Fletcher, but it can hold its own against destroyers for some time before going down. The Phelps also has above average mobility for a US destroyer, with a top speed of 69 km per hour along with standard turning and acceleration. It's not bad, but it's not really worth noting. The playstyle of the Phelps is pretty much the same as the Fletcher. You get as close as you can to the enemy, dealing damage faster than they can with the superior firepower of the US 5-inch cannons and targeting their weapons when possible. The Phelps should be able to beat most destroyers in DPS and survivability, with the exception being the Fletcher and some 4.7s. Against cruisers, try to avoid them, use torpedoes, and occasionally spam SP Common at them, otherwise you haven't got much of a chance against them. The USS Phelps comes with all modifications unlocked, along with a talisman. Crew skills are standard: leadership, main caliber reload speed, crew interchangeability, fire prevention, and ship control. It's currently 155 Gaijin coins, which I will absolutely never recommend anyone buy ever. If you want a US premium, wait until the USS Cowl is back as a GE premium, or get the USS Helena. The Phelps may be good, but it's not worth $155. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more ship reviews.